What's the worst thing your parents ever did because they refused to accept that you weren't the child they wanted? Mine tried to replace me. I'm 22 now, but growing up, my parents only seemed interested in one version of me, the version that acted like my older sister, Claire. Claire was brilliant, confident, popular. I was quiet, liked drawing, and spent most of my time alone. My parents treated that like a flaw I needed to grow out of. Then Claire died in a car accident when she was 18. And somehow, after that, I became even less important. My mom stopped calling me by my name sometimes. She'd look at me and say, "Claire, can you?" Then she'd freeze. Oh, never mind. My dad turned Claire's bedroom into a shrine. Nothing moved. Her clothes stayed in the closet. Her perfume sat on the dresser. Meanwhile, when I asked if I could repaint my own room, my mother said, "Not now. There are more important things happening." I left for college at 18 and barely looked back. For 3 years, my parents called only when they needed paperwork, money transferred, or help with something around the house. Then one night, my mother called crying. She said, "You need to come home. We found her." I thought grief had finally broken her. Found who? Claire. I drove 4 hours, and sitting in my parents' living room was a girl who looked enough like my sister to make my stomach drop. Same hair, similar smile, similar height. My mother was holding her hand. My girls are finally together again. The girl looked at me. Then she said, "Hey little sis." Claire had never called me that, not once. I spent the entire dinner watching her. She didn't know Claire was allergic to strawberries. She didn't recognize our childhood dog in old photos. And when my dad brought out Claire's guitar, she held it like she'd never touched one before. I waited until my mother was alone in the kitchen. "That isn't Claire." She stared at me. I told her everything. The details, the mistake, the things only our family would know. My mother's face changed, not with fear, with anger. "You always hated your sister." I actually laughed because somehow, even after years of barely speaking to me, she still knew exactly which wound to press. My father came in and told me to leave, so I did. 3 months later, I got a letter, not from my parents, from a lawyer. Apparently, my parents had legally added Claire to their will. They had also transferred nearly everything into a joint trust with her, because they wanted to make up for the years she lost, their house, their savings, my father's retirement, everything. 2 weeks after the transfer was finalized, she disappeared. No goodbye, no Claire, just empty accounts and a house already listed for sale. My parents called me for the first time in months. My mother was sobbing. She kept saying, "We made a mistake." Then she asked if I could come home. I looked around my apartment, at the walls covered in my drawings, the life I built without them, and I said, "You finally got what you wanted." She went quiet. "You have Claire now." There was a long silence. Then I hung up. A few days later, the police found out the girl had used fake identities before. She specifically targeted grieving parents and families desperate for someone to come back. But honestly, I don't think she fooled my parents because she looked exactly like Claire. I think they knew, somewhere deep down, that she wasn't. They just preferred a fake version of their favorite daughter over the real daughter they'd been ignoring the entire time. And that was the moment I finally understood something. I was never the invisible child. They saw me perfectly. They just kept choosing not to look.